Next, I'd like to invite Willard Lamont up. Isn't he great? Willard Lamont is an illegal at-home attempt abortion survivor, a very caring and compassionate man who comes to us from upstate New York. Willard is a school bus driver who loves to work with wood and serve the Lord. Come on up here.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor for me to be here this evening. You see, like Jen said, I am a school bus driver. I've been a driver for 8 years. And every morning when we get to school, I say to my high schoolers, "Are you ready for a new day?" And I say, "I believe in you." Every morning I tell them that. Because you see, I had a very difficult childhood. Oh, how I wish someone would say, "Willie, are you ready for a new day?" But that wasn't the case. Instead, I was called stupid and moron so much that I thought my name was stupid. Can you imagine that?
I didn't know it was on.
And also, you see, when I was 11 years old, I was struck by a car while riding my bicycle along the road, and I sustained massive trauma. I sustained a basilar skull fracture. I had 5 broken ribs and a punctured lung. You see, I shouldn't have survived that much trauma. But God had a new day in store for me. And after graduating from high school, I was diagnosed, with acute lymphocytic leukemia. I spent 6 weeks in the hospital, and after several weeks of treatment from chemotherapy, I developed a severe systemic infection throughout my whole body. Because of that, I developed a fever of 105 degrees. And I was packed in ice. I was in my bed. I was packed in ice up to my face. You see, I wasn't supposed to survive the night from that either. But God had a new day in store for me. Now, let's move to 1988. I just want you to know I was a rotten and a mean man in 1988. But then, on March 28th, I was adopted into God's holy family. It was as if I climbed on God's school bus and He said, "Are you ready for a new day?" He had given me a brand new day, and He gave me a brand new life. I wasn't the mean and rotten man I was before. He gave me a brand new life by saving my wretched soul from the depths of sin by His finished work on the cross, Calvary's cross. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for a new day? And as it turns out, God has been saving my life ever since I was in the womb. I had learned from my relatives that my mother intentionally overdosed on pills, and she fell down a flight of stairs while she was pregnant with me. But God said, "This boy is mine. This boy is mine, and I have plans for him. I have a new day in store for him." And these days, we're talking about today now. I'm an avid woodworker, as Jen had mentioned. I love building stuff in my shop. I have a wood shop, and presently I'm preparing to make, or cutting boards for my coworkers for Christmas. Because I do that because I love seeing the looks of how their faces light up when they open those gifts. And also, I'm married. I am married, and I've been married for 28 years now, and I have 3 grown sons. And my oldest son is a activities program director for an assisted living facility, and he came up with a policy to celebrate the residents' birthdays. Instead of doing a whole month, it was just one resident on their actual birthday, and the whole company nationwide is taking up doing that just because of the policy that my son came up with. And this, I said that to say that this is the next generation making a difference in the world. And my boys are alive because I'm alive, because God saved my life and He saved my soul. But you see, I find something very interesting. My father, a couple of weeks before my father passed away, he made an interesting statement. He said, Willard was the only one that loved me. And this was because I was the only person that supported his end of life decision to refuse chemotherapy to treat his pancreatic cancer. And I found that very interesting. And also, I just wanted to say to my mom, which is also, she passed away also, but I just wanted to say, Mom, I love you and I forgive you. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a school bus driver. I have K through 12 students on my bus. And my goal is to make a difference in as many lives as I can on my school bus and throughout the whole school district. Because I do that by, again, every morning I give them a pep talk, elementary through the high school. I ask them, are you ready for a new day? I said, I believe in you. Do you believe in yourselves? And then, so I try to give them I encourage them there. You see, many of them have difficult home lives. It breaks my heart to drop them off at some of the places I have to drop them off at. And this may be the only positive, encouraging words that they hear all day long. You know, God has a new day for them too. Ladies, all ladies listening to me tonight, I'm here to let you know that there is hope for you. If you are experiencing an unwanted pregnancy, there is hope for you, and there's hope for your baby. I want you to know that if you were to get on my bus today, I would say God can do great and mighty things in the life of the person in your womb. And that I believe in you and I believe in your baby. You can do this and your baby can do this. Please show the world what you're made of and what your baby is made of. And men, I want to speak directly to the men. Support the women in your lives. Because someday you can be a role model for your son or your daughter. You can make a difference in their lives. I want to say to you, men, let's get it. We can do this. God has a new day in store for you and your babies. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to say it's a new day. Thank you.